Well, I was saved in 1967, Sunday after Mother's Day. Pretty soon after that, we had a Sunday school election, and John Harris asked me to be his assistant teacher teaching junior kids on a Sunday night. And I think he wanted to find out if I'd really been saved when he put me with those junior kids. But I guess after I was saved, I just kind of hit the ground running and run a little slower nowadays, but I've been running about 55 years. Whatever I was doing, I always wanted to do the best that I could for the Lord. And I tried to make sure that I was sold out to the Lord, and whatever I was doing, that was always first. On your job or in the church, you're really serving. When God is first, you're serving. Shortly after I was saved, I had a supervisor that he wasn't fond of me, and I wasn't fond of him. But he got sick, and he called me, and he said, I have noticed a difference in you. And he said, would you come to my house and visit with me about the Lord? I went to his house that night and visited with him a while, and then we knelt at his couch, and he accepted the Lord. And I'll never forget, and that's been about 55 years ago, but I remember he looked at me after he was saved, and we didn't care a lot for one another until then. But he looked at me and said, there's never been this much love in this house before. So God is love.
Yes.
And I don't know as I ever, I got tired, physically tired, mentally tired, but I never can say that I got tired of telling the story. There would be something come along, you'd see somebody saved, you'd knock on the door. But I remember one Saturday, it was below zero, and Neal and Brenda and Noreen had walked across the street about that time, and so we went in. He was alone, and I asked him if he was a Christian, and he said no. Said I was sitting here just kind of thinking about that. He said, now there were pastors that came to see me in the hospital, but they were concerned about how I was feeling and that kind of stuff, but nobody said anything about that. He knelt at his couch and accepted the Lord, and that things like that urge you to go on. In just a few weeks, I looked at the Wellington paper, and in the obituary column, there was his name, 84 years old. And I always wondered how many more Elmer Hulls that there were behind the doors, just waiting for somebody to come and just tell them about Jesus. And whatever you're doing, I've had people ask me, why aren't you involved in this, or why aren't you involved in the prison ministry or jail ministry? My son David, of course, he helped Buford in that. And he couldn't understand why I wasn't in the middle of that. I loved that. That was their calling. But I told him that whatever ministry that you're working in is the most important one. It's the most important one to you. We're all serving, not just our local church, but we're on a bigger thing. We're serving God. And again, wherever you are. Job in the church. I guess I could say something that my son told me about our good friend Leland Weaver. Leland was excited because you were letting him make coffee and pick up the donuts. And I mentioned that to my son, that Leland had mentioned that to me, thrilled to be serving. And my son told me, he said, I'll tell you something about Leland. He'll be the very best coffee maker that he can be. And that's whether we're making coffee and picking up donuts or cleaning the church, mowing the lawn, whatever it is, we just need to do the very best that we can do. She's been a big part of it. Big part of it.
We've had good times, good years, and I think I told you when you found the church over there. Mm-hmm. That's the first place I ever went to church, and it was Southern Baptist Church. And I went because the lady that worked in the nursery thought our oldest daughter was she just had to have her there, you know. And so we went, and I went to church, and I don't think Neal went right away, but after I had gone, and he may have told you this, the pastor came to my house the next week and prayed with me in my living room, and I was saved. And so that was really, I don't know what would have happened to us had that not happened then, because we were very young and we had kids one after another, you know, for a while there, and moved across the state of Kansas several times too. So it was not easy, but we've had a good life, good marriage, and we enjoy each other, and we enjoy church.
It's just good to serve the Lord, whether you're teaching or whatever it is. It's good to find a place, and sometimes just look for a place where there's a need, and then be available. If you want to serve, there's a place to serve.
Always.
I went with you on Sunday morning. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
And the people at church would say, well, we'll see you tonight. And I said, no, I won't be here tonight. Bonanza's on tonight. I guess they didn't have a TV guy. I'm guessing that'll be edited out, right?